The full tour of this container home will continue at the end of this video, but first, let's see how this model was made. Okay guys, so today's 3D model is for a client who hired me. He had a shipping container home idea, very simple one, single container with like a little patio deck out front. There it is right there. Let's go ahead and dive in and see how I brought this 3D model to life for my client. The client provided me a few YouTube video examples of the shipping container. Essentially, it's a single 40-foot high cube container. First things first, let's go ahead and make the roof invisible. Probably the most important detail that he told me was he wants a small room on either end of the 40-foot container. So let's go ahead and put some walls in here to represent sort of this small room. You don't want to make a room too small. So I think that for now, this is going to suffice. I'm going to send this over to the client, get his feedback, and then we will go from there. Oh, I forgot to do one last thing. I'm going to add some sort of dimensional marks showing the dimensions of the rooms. It's going to be very important for the client so that he can get a sense of the current dimensions and what we're working with. And we're back. I was able to get feedback from the client, and he's kind of specified some of the details. So here is the drawing that he sent me. You know, again, basic, but this is actually, you'd be surprised how helpful these are. Hand drawn on a napkin if you want, it's perfectly fine. So if you're watching this right now, if you have an idea for a container home that you'd like to see brought to life in 3D, feel free to reach out to me using the email in the description of this video below. You can reach out to me and we can discuss it further. Alright, we are back, and the client has taken a look at the model and he is quite confident in the current floor plan setup, which means it is now time to start framing. So I have this template of some standard wall framing that I've used on other models. We're going to start over here on the end of the container. Let's hide that. I'm going to go ahead and bring this over. Let's go ahead and make sure that we've got it. Yep, looks like it's already on the edge there, but it looks like we need to raise it up. Now obviously there's not going to be a door here, so let's go ahead and delete. On that front. Now let me go ahead and transplant this that I already had and see how well it's going to fit right here in the middle. Alright, now let's, wrong direction. Right, let's go ahead and hide this wall. This sucker right there, and then move this sucker over here. So we've got all the walls that run perpendicular to the 40-foot length of the container. Let's go ahead and start framing out these long 40-foot lengths of wall, which do include numerous windows on this back, and then on the front, of course, it includes the French doors. Now let's hide this back wall. I have to frame around this window shape here. I know that this wall is basically going to be full length, so let's drag that all the way back there. Let's grab that bottom plate, just give that a bunch of length as well. That's looking perfect. Very good. Now that took some time. That definitely took some time. But you can see now we have to go ahead and do the other wall, the front wall, which is pretty straightforward. It's basically just the only real unusual framing is going to be the French doors, and there's 3 of them. So, looking good, and yeah, we're good now. I think that is basically it for the wall framing. Yeah. Okay, and we are back. I've received a little bit of feedback from the client, and let's go ahead and do a few things. First, he wants me to add an additional window right here in this living room, which I totally agree with. Now I'm going to add a little bit of cabinetry to the kitchen. That was one thing he wanted. That's pretty much it. Now it's time to actually finally, and I got approval from the client. He says we are good to go on finally cutting out the window and doors on the shipping container so you can finally actually see in and out. So if you're watching this right now, if you have an idea for a container home that you'd like to see brought to life in 3D, feel free to reach out to me using the email in the description of this video below. You can reach out to me and we can discuss it further. Alright, so we have our French doors, really good location on the corrugation, filling in nicely on the interior. We've got all our windows removed. That's actually it for now.